It hasn't been easy, obviously. Main reason because we don't really know anything about it. So we know more now. We have like a month's worth of knowledge. So we started MainStage Gaming about a month ago, and to think that you could go into something without any knowledge or experience is wild. But hey, we went ahead and did it anyway. It's been pretty interesting when it comes to learning about TCGs and trying to turn that into a business. We've obviously made some mistakes, but that doesn't mean that we haven't been learning. You know, I have a full-time job. This isn't my full-time job, obviously, as I'm sure you could tell. Hello, but I would want it to eventually turn into a business, and that's the whole point of this. So the whole point of this is to try to document the process of how we can take something from scratch and with no money, no capital, and just see how far we can take it with like learning the market, everything. It hasn't been easy, obviously. Main reason because we don't really know anything about it. So we know more now. We have like a month's worth of knowledge. But that's all we're going off of so far. It's been hard to try to make time to make content while having a full-time job, having a family, and trying to set a little bit of, even if it's just an hour to try to make content. It's not so easy because you have kids running around making noise, and so you make do with what you got. And so far this month, I feel like we started off with a plan and we kind of deviated from it, and I'll probably go into it obviously throughout this video, but this is what we've learned so far with no starting capital, obviously, and having a family to provide for. I've been fortunate I have a decent paying job, which gives me wiggle room to be able to take a leap of faith on an adventure like this, to try to turn a hobby into a business without any actual experience. As long as you don't go crazy, which, believe me, at times you're just like, oh, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want to go get this, I need to do this, I need to spend money to create content. And I think that that's one of the mistakes that we somewhat made. Not that we spent a lot of money to do things. Obviously we bought packs at a certain price that we were comfortable with. We set a budget and we've been following that budget, but the only thing is that there's actually more ways to make content when it comes to TCGs. And so far all I've really been doing is like pack openings, which that's kind of like not the point. The point is, yeah, that should be some of your content, but you should be making more, like recommending, like, why did you buy that booster box or that certain TCG, like what went into the decision. And I feel like that's something that I need to improve on. Money has been an issue, but it hasn't been an issue. So my recommendation is just making sure that you have a budget. Try to stick to it as close as possible. Don't spend what you can't afford to lose. Only bet what you're willing to not get back. And that's kind of the approach that I've gone into it when it comes to buying things, at least when it comes to money. And so far, it's obviously, I can't say that we're up when it comes to money. Hypothetically, there are cards that we have pulled that have value, and there are some boxes that we are underwater because we didn't get anything. And that's something else that I've learned. Sometimes it's best to just keep something sealed if you're not really willing to take that gamble and open up a, let's say, whether it's a booster box, whether it's a bundle. If you're not sure, if you're not willing to take that risk to go for that chase, then don't do it. just keep it sealed and just let it, just hold on to it. And if you want to open something up, then go buy a just a regular booster pack. Obviously, if you're into this hobby, certain rules. Don't chase the hype. Don't follow along with these hype trends. And so I learned that I've obviously where's all the money so far. If you wanna, the hobby, the biggest TCGs are Pokemon, One Piece. You have Magic the Gathering. So we all know that One Piece is like really expensive currently. And then you also have you have Pokemon with all these sets that they're coming out. They have been getting a little easier to get, but I think that for somebody who's starting at the very beginning with no capital, it's easy to fall into what you see on social media. It's easy to fall into seeing how a lot of these guys that are making content on opening the most recent sets, kind of like Ascended Heroes. Right now we have the Perfect Order. You have all these people who are opening multiple ETBs, booster boxes, and just packs in general. But you have to remember, these people have either been doing this for a long time, so they have this capital that they can use to spend and to buy the product for their content. And then you also have people who just have money to just throw away like that. And if you're not one of those people like me, then you just have to, don't buy like older sets just because they're for one, they're expensive, and then two, just stick to what's recent. If you're really trying to grow your collection, you want to turn it into a business, then just start from now. Start what the current set, the most recent set is. But there's no reason to try to chase and right now, honestly, any Pokemon products that I get, that I'm able to get or afford, I'm not even opening it, because it's just I rather hold on to the box, keep it sealed, and hold that value. But I'm saying, let's say I pay $300 for a booster box and I open it and I don't get shit. So now I'm out $300, and all I have to show for it is maybe, let's say, $75 worth. So now I've taken a big hit, and now I'm upset. And just keep it sealed, keep that value, and don't take the gamble. Don't even do it. So far right now, starting from scratch, what I'm doing is I'm focusing more on Disney Lorcana, which is more affordable. I've also been getting a lot of Union Arena. I'm really fascinated by Union Arena. I feel like they're on the come up. What's so cool and I find interesting is just it almost feels like the Smash Bros of TCGs. We're currently buying a lot of Kaiju number 8, and let's say I took this deck and I'm gonna take on what's one that's out right now? Trying to blank, but you get the point. They have Attack on Titan, Bleach, they have Black Clover. So if you have a favorite anime, you can literally buy that, build a deck, and then try to take on the world. And I find that really interesting. And they have really nice cards. And you know what? One thing that I have noticed about Union Arena, which this is turning into Union Arena. We'll make a separate video when it comes to Union Arena. So the point of the story is, if you're gonna spend money on a certain product like Pokemon, then buy it and keep it sealed. There's also Cyberpunk 2077 that's coming out later on this year, and they just kicked off their product or their Kickstarter, and so far they have it's the most funded TCG on Kickstarter, and I'm really looking forward to that. And hopefully we get in early and we can make some money, to help our business. And making content it's not as easy as you would think, and it does require time. It requires prep, prep work, and it's hard when you have a full-time job. Like I said, you have family, and you're trying to set time aside, and it's really difficult. And so I've made, I want to say, like 9 videos, and I think it's like a total. I've gotten maybe like a total of 150 to 200 views total, which isn't a lot. Yes, can it be discouraging? Yes, but you know what? Like I realize that it is my fault, because I haven't been making a variety of different styles of videos. I've just been doing like the pack opening, and that's something that I need to change. Also, I feel like something that you don't realize is that, you know, you try to go off of what you see obviously on social media. You try to match energy, you try to do the same things, and I feel like that's where I've been kind of messing up. Like if I really ask myself, like, have I been my most authentic self? Like, no. Like I don't like being in front of a camera, because I'm just not comfortable with it. This is literally the second video that I've made that it's just showing my face. All of the content is actually just overhead shots of just me on my hands opening packs, and that's just something that I have to get comfortable with. And just kind of just be authentic, you know, just be me. And at the end of the day, like, this is my journey, and will I succeed? The point is to, yes, hopefully succeed. If we don't, hey, at least we gave it a shot. But at the end of the day, like, you can't give up. It's only been a month, and yeah, have I wanted to quit at times? Yes, because I'm just like, I don't have time, and it requires money. Like, no, it doesn't. Like, that's why I said earlier, like, you know, you can make content that doesn't require you to go out and spend. You know, it's just, but it does require prep work, and sometimes it can get a little difficult. On Instagram, I have 17 followers, and hey, that's more than than I thought I would have in a month, to be honest with you, with the type of content that I've been making. So that's one of the things that I do want to change, is just kind of just do different content, not just pack openings, and hopefully see the difference, and just be me at the end of the day. You know, like, if people like it, cool, they're gonna be like, hey, you know what, I like the journey, I like what this dude's doing. He doesn't know anything, he's straightforward, and at the end of the day, like, I just want to prove to myself that I can do this, and I could do this, and see if, like, hypothetically speaking, let's say that this does go somewhere, and it does help me provide and have my family be well off. That's great, you know. And one of the things that I like is that I've always said that if I ever had money, that wouldn't change me. I would just stay who I am, stay humble, as opposed to those who are either born with money and they're, you know, let's just be honest, they're dicks. People who don't have that come from nothing do make it, and then they turn into dicks, you know. So at the end of the day, like, all I can do is just be myself, and hope that to prove to myself that, you know, whether you have money or not, you can stay humble, you can be yourself, and people who want to ride with you, or, you know, I wanted to say, let's just be honest. If they want to fuck with you, they'll be with you, and that's the kind of people that you want around you anyway, you know. So when it comes to doubling back or tracking back to the social media aspect of it, is just, you know, just, it's not about posting every day. It should be about posting at least posting whatever is okay. If you can only post once a week, hey, post once a week, and just make sure that you're putting in the legwork. And I feel like that's also where I've been slacking, because, like I said, not to keep beating the same horse, it's like, you know, I do have a full-time job, I do have a family, I get home, it's already late, I have to deal with the family, and it's hard. You're tired and you don't want to do it. So just try to be mindful of your schedule and how much content you can actually put out, make something realistic. And as it goes on, it'll get easier, and hopefully the quality will get better and the product will get better. but you know, it's also addicting when you start seeing the views going up, you start seeing followers, or people starting to follow you. Like you do get on that kick, that high, where you're just like, oh man, I need to keep making more. And sometimes that's all it takes, you know. It's just you wanting to keep making content, and that will go a long way. And just as long as you can stay consistent, whatever that means to you, as long as you keep doing that and you start seeing the incremental growth, then and it does feel good. It really does. And yeah, so it's just that's if I could start over from scratch, I would definitely for one, make different purchases, and and two, I would definitely not open certain things that I did open. Like I did buy a One Piece booster box that I am not gonna get into because I still tilt whenever I get it. So that's why I want to hone in on the fact that, like, if you're gonna spend some money, like, and you don't want to take the risk, don't take the risk, because if you can't afford to, just don't do it. Just keep it sealed, and I'd probably be better off when it comes to that, and I wouldn't be so upset. Yeah, that's something that I would do if I started over. In month number 2, I would say I would definitely want to, the goals are to create better content, even if it's not so often, but just give better quality content, not just pack openings. To eventually join a marketplace to either do live, like going live and selling live, like online, what's it called? Like, you know, on let me start over. Like selling stuff on Whatnot, or even eBay Live, or even on just TCG. I think that we could, maybe that's kind of a high goal, but yeah, besides making quality content, I would say, what else? I would say I think I want to send a few cards to get graded. I think that would also be good content. And not only that, I do want to attend a card show and just kind of scope it out. Not purchase anything. Just kind of see what the vendor side looks like, and just kind of check out the atmosphere. That I think that's also good for growth. Is just kind of like seeing what you're getting yourself into. With these progress reports, we'll be able to see how close we are. But yeah, that's what month number 2 looks like, for what I would want month number 2 to look like. What would success look like? I think that success would be having a community that is checking out the content, having conversations with you, telling you like, hey, like, maybe this would be a good idea, trying to be on the vendor side of things. At the end of the day, like I said, it's just like, it's a process, and I'm not gonna let go of my 9-to-5 job, because that's what's funding this whole thing. But if we could, attend a card show and have a stand and sell things, and make some passive income, then great, and all we can do is just kind of keep growing from there, man. I've been touching on how to balance the balancing act when it comes to posting content and having responsibilities like a full-time job, family. It's not easy. It's hard. It really is difficult to juggle both. And I do have a supportive wife who she understands that this is something that I want to do, and she knows that if at the end of the day, like, this goes well, then it's for the better of our family, and that's really what it comes down to. Is just also just kind of being able to teach my son that if you put your mind to something, and as long as you have the work ethic and the drive, then you can go far. You can accomplish things, and that's what motivates me. It's not making money. That's just the bonus at the end of the day, because money, yes, it helps, it's good, it can buy you things, but if you don't have if you're not surrounded by loved ones or people who support you, then at the end of the day, you're just by yourself, and you know, it's all for shit. So if you're still watching this and still here, I thank you. You're a real one. But no, seriously, all jokes aside, I hope that you stick around for the journey and stick it out with me, and we'll see where this goes. Let's build a community I think that's having common goals, or just having things in common with people it's not something that's so easy these days, to go out and meet people with everybody just so invested in just, you know, being on their phones, or, you know, just listen, I know how it is. I'm an introvert at heart, and the only way that I can switch over to an extrovert is if I have a couple drinks in me and that liquid courage kicks in. So that's something that this is also helping me with, because I don't like I said, I don't like being on camera, but it's something that comes with the territory, and hey, at the end of the day, you have to get comfortable with what makes you uncomfortable. And if I can inspire somebody to want to do the same thing, like, hey, this guy didn't know what the hell he was doing, started with nothing, and look where he's at now. If I am fortunate and lucky enough to do that, then I am more than happy to be that person, you know, and I would love to be that person for someone in the far future. And like I said, I do this not just for me, but I do this for my family. And this is month one, the first month of MainStage Gaming, and let's see where this goes. So like, subscribe, follow the journey, ride with me, and let's see where this goes.